Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is David, and I decided to call the channel name Algos Explain because I will mainly be focusing on algorithms. This is the first video I'm doing after I decided that name. Um, and so let's get to it. You already know what this is. This is me taking a first look at these algorithm problems. You can find these on Code Wars, and this is a level 6 problem. So let's get straight to it. This one's called Two Sum. Write a function that takes an array of numbers, integers for the test, okay, and a target number. So we have two inputs. It should find two different items in the array that, when added together, give the target value. The indices of these items should then be returned in an array like so. So the output is an array. The input was an array of numbers and then a number. So an array, number, and then the output is an array. For the purposes of this problem, of this kata, some tests may have multiple answers. Any valid solutions will be accepted. Cool. The input will always be valid. Well, the input will always be valid. Numbers will be an array of length 2 or greater, and all the items will be numbers. Target will always be the sum of two different items of that array. Okay, so that um, gives us a lot of leeway on not having to do a lot of error checking. Okay, cool. So let's see. They don't give us any examples here, which is not good because I usually go off of that a lot. If you're in some kind of interview or whatnot and there's no examples, always ask for examples because that definitely can make it or break it. Pretty much, let's see. Sample tests, numerical compare, okay. I'm not sure what the heck this guy is doing, but when they ran Two Sum and the target number was for, here are the two arguments, the array and the number, sort. We got the 0 and the 2, and that is, I don't know why that is. It should find two different items in the array. When added together, give the target value. Okay. So how is a 2 and a 0 supposed to equal to 4? What the heck? Wait, it should find two different items in an array that, when added together, give the target value. The indices of the item should be returned. Oh, the indices. Okay, cool. So we're talking about the indice 2 and the indice 0, which is the 1 and the 3. That makes sense. Okay, and this one, what adds... Sorry, we have motorcyclists. I don't know if you heard that, but there was a motorcycle going by. Okay, so 14690, what will add to that? Probably these two, 1 and 2, okay? And 4 again, or not again, but 0 and 1. Okay, cool. So I think I have a good idea of what they're asking for. If you don't, pause the video, read over this again. But what they're asking for from us is they're going to give us an array of numbers and a target value as a second argument, like here. And pretty much you find what in this array equals to that target value. And so, okay, the easiest way to do this, I guess, is to go through add every single two different numbers in the array. And that would, if we're talking about time complexity, that would be n squared, just because you're probably going to have a for loop and have another for loop inside of it. That is definitely not good. Another way you can do this is by, and this is not sorted, right? This is not sorted. Actually, well, all these examples seem to be sorted, but let's read the. If it is sorted, I have an idea that can make this a lot easier and more efficient for us. Integers of the test, target number, the indices, blah blah blah. Input will always be 2. All the numbers will be all the items will be numbers. Targets. Okay. It should find two different items in the array. Okay. So I was hoping that they already gave us a sorted array, because if they did, then we could probably do this in O of n time, in linear time. But because they don't, we can never guarantee that it is sorted. We're going to have to sort it ourselves, and that's going to be at best O log of n. no wait, no, n log n, yeah. And so okay, let me explain to you my idea of what I'm going to do. I'm going to have a number, and I have a number that is going to add the first number and the last number, and we're just going to keep on going in and in and in until we reach either until we collide or actually, well, we won't collide because the problem does say two numbers will definitely equal the target, and so we will just eventually get to the two numbers that are equal to the target. And how we're going to do that is, say, given this example here, the second one, just because when we look at the 0 and the 2, that's not the answer already. When we look at the 0 and the 2, we have the 1, 2, 3, 4. And so when we add that, we are going to get something a little over 10,000. And we know that 10,000 is less than 14,000. And so we're going to move the left side up, that because we know, okay, we need more value, so we're going to move that left side up, and then we're going to add the 5,000 with the 9,000. If that didn't equal it, and say if it was still too little, we would move the left side up. If it was too much, then we would move the right side down, and we would keep doing that until we equal the target. And once again, they guaranteed us the two numbers in the array will give us the target, so we could rest assured that the solution will be there. We don't even have to worry about it colliding and taking care of like a case where there are no numbers that add to that. And in order to do that, you need to have a sorted array. And nowhere in here, unless I'm missing it, does it say that the numbers that we're given is a sorted array. And so we'll sort it ourselves and then go ahead with the algorithm that we created. All right, cool. So I'm just going to go ahead and we're going to do that. And we're going to be using some ES6 here. We do A comma B, and pretty much it's what this compare is. That's exactly what we're doing. The sort method does need, or it does take this, or else it's going to sort it, I think, by characters or something like that, which is why we want to give it this guy. This is pretty much the same thing as this, but written with a fat arrow function rather than this with all these curly braces and a return. So okay, now we know that numbers is equal to its sorted version, and so we will go through the numbers. Let's create a for loop that will go through this guy. And what we're going to have to do is pretty much, as we're walking through this, we're going to have a sum number. So let sum equals 0. We'll just have sum equal that for now. And okay, hold up. I'm pretty sure we use a for loop, but I am second guessing the way we're going to walk. I'm thinking maybe we could use a while loop instead. That way, at every turn, when we do something, we don't move one side of it. We get to choose which side we move. And so, yeah, I think not using a for loop but using a while loop is going to be better. And so while sum does not equal target, we'll do that because when the sum equals target, and we know that it will, that's when we decided, okay, stop here. And so we'll also have the start number. Start is going to be at the index of 0. And these are the indexes I'm talking about. End is going to be the numbers.length minus 1, which is the last index of the numbers array. And so first thing we're going to do is sum equals, let's see, numbers of start plus numbers of end. And so what that did for us was pretty much like, say, look down here in the second example, that added that and that, the first element and the last element of the numbers array, and it gave us a sum. And so we could check and now we need to know which number or where this conditional is going to be. So let's first write it out. If sum, or well, hold on to this. If, okay, at the first iteration of this while loop, sum is going to be that, and numbers, okay, so definitely, okay, I was thinking maybe we don't need a conditional, but we do, we definitely, because we need to increase the sum, or we need to increase the start or the end, or decrease the end. And so, let's see. How about we start the sum with this guy? We just start it with this guy. That way we have some number to start with. And so, and if we return and say we have the last or the first element of the array and the last element of the array, and if that happens to be the answer, this while loop will never run, and so therefore at that point we just want to return it, which is going to be start and the end. And that is kind of in the case of this first example where 1, 2, and 3, the target is 4, and we happen to start off with the start and the end, and that happens to be the answer too. So, which means in that case, for if this algorithm runs for this first example, this while loop will never be hit. And so, but then what if it does get hit? Now we need to know, okay, while the sum is not that, then the conditional should be up here. If the sum is greater than the target, if it was too big, then we want the end to come down because that's where the big numbers are at, end minus minus. And else, we don't even need a else if with that conditional, because if it's not greater than, it only has to be less than, and if it was equal to, it would never be in here in the first place. So start plus plus, and we'll have the sum be the new added elements after it shifted. And so, say in a case of this second example, we'll start off with some over like 12,000-ish, and 12,000 is not equal to the target. Okay, so sum is 12,000 greater than target? No. So the start got added, and now the new sum is going to be the 5,000 plus 9,000, and yes, that's the new sum. When you go up to the while loop, the sum, yes, it equals the target, so break out of that, and at that point, the start was mutated to be 1, and the end remains at 2 for this example here, and that's the answer. Right over here, 1 and 2. Okay, cool, so I'm feeling pretty good about this algorithm. Let's go ahead and attempt it and see what happens. Okay, there's an error. Start plus plus. Okay, oh, what the heck? Okay, what happened here? Start is not defined. Okay, what about this right here? Start. Reference error at 2 sum. Start is not defined. This is some weird stuff. Let's just go ahead and let's do that. Maybe something like that was giving us error. It shouldn't have been, but you never know. Nope, that wasn't it. Start is not defined at 2 sum. What the heck do you mean start was not? Oh, up here. Okay. There we go. Too bad they didn't give us line numbers, because if it did, we would have known. This is the start they were talking about. It would have been at line 3, so yes. Yeah, there was no start defined at that point when we were trying to create the sum before. So, and now it should be. Now it should have worked. Oh, we failed 491 tests. What is this? Wow, this guy wrote a lot of tests for this. And for someone who wrote a lot of tests, he couldn't give us a couple of examples in the instructions. All right, let's read this. The target is 1195, and the results 2 and 9 invalid. 2 and 9. Well, first of all, let's see how many numbers there are in this array. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, there's 10, and the results 2 and 9. That's what we gave them. which was 0, 1, 2. That's 442 and 447. And I'm assuming that's not the right answer, but let me just go in my calculator real quick. I'm not good at addition, guys. Sorry. 442 plus 447. Oh, wait, hold up. Oh, it's because we freaking sorted it that, oh my goodness. I half want to start this video over, but this is part of freaking the challenge. What would have been good if you had an interviewer, maybe they could have told you this, but yeah, when I sorted it, I totally screwed up the whole indexes, and so now I am giving them a true number, but hey, what is it? Now I don't have the right index, and I don't think. I'm wondering, is there an index of? So let r equals 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 5, r dot index of 1. Index of is not a function. Maybe that. Ooh, hold up. Okay, cool. So index of works. I don't know the time complexity of that, so it might have screwed up everything we did. But if index of works, then we could just pretty much don't mutate the original numbers array, and let's do this. Let's do new nums, and I believe that the sort does not mutate it either. R dot sort, and we'll do something weird with it. A plus b. All right, and when we look at, oh, it does mutate it. Damn it. Okay, so how do we do this without mutating the freaking array? I want to make a copy of it, but I feel as if it'll screw things up anyways. Let's try it. R is that right now. Let new R na equals R. Okay, na dot sort. We'll just sort that. R, and now R is sorted too. That's because I think they're pointing to the same array in memory, which is why when I sort na, it's sorting R also. Okay. All right. So this might take us all the way back to having to rethink of an algorithm. The only thing that I am thinking about on the top of my head right now is what we talked about earlier, and that is the quadratic time complexity one, where you have 2 for loops and you're just adding stuff together. For level 6 problem, that might be what they're expecting, but I always feel as if there's a better way. Yeah, totally true. Check this out because of this. Need to know, is there a way to dupe without, we need to know how to dupe without, or pretty much deep dupe an array. And sounds like something I should know. Is there a dupe? R dot dupe. Dupe is not a function. R dot duplicate. Okay. Well, we could definitely hand roll a duplication. We could just run through the numbers array. How about that? Let's try that. Let's try that. This might, yeah, this might take like 5 minutes. So if you're not into it, you might want to skip ahead. But here, let's try it. So let new num equals an array, and we're going to have a for loop that goes through numbers. I equals 0. And we're just going to look at every element, and we're just going to copy it into this new num. So new dot push numbers of I. Okay. And pretty much new nums.sort. Okay, cool. So we did that. And I want to try it here. So let's let numbers equal 1, 2, 3, 4, or no, let's kind of vary that up and do this. Boom, run all that, new nums. Oh man, new nums. It didn't really work. Numbers. How come that didn't work? How come we couldn't push into that? For when I equals 0, I is less than numbers, dot length, plus new nums dot push numbers of I. Numbers, because I freaking misspelled it. Oh, up here. Numbers that scrolling per n. And so new nums is that numbers. And so new nums dot sort. We'll just do that. New nums is now sorted. Numbers is still unsorted. Okay, that looks good. All right, so now we'll use new nums. We'll use this. We'll use this algorithm, and we will pretty much every time we're using numbers, we're going to just use new nums. And now when we return that, we are going to get the index of numbers.index of new nums of the start number, and pretty much the same thing. I'm just going to copy and paste it. Okay, cool. So what happened was we were screwing up because we need the indexes from the original array, but we were messing with it by sorting it. And so what we did was we duped the numbers array into this new nums array and pretty much sorted that. And now with that, we're going to work with finding the exact two numbers that are going to give us the target value. The while loop, we already know that it does work. And so at this point, we use the new nums to create the sum and the new nums to pretty much alter it. And so at the end, we're just going to type into the new nums of start, new nums of end, and find that number's index of numbers. So let's go ahead and attempt this and see what we get. And I always forget to say like and subscribe. So like and subscribe. Hopefully I could throw out some other numbers. Oh man, process was terminated, took longer. Okay, so that's pretty much saying the time complexity sucks. And so I think it's because of the index of. But given that, if we did the quadratic time complexity one, that wouldn't work well either, because pretty much if they're complaining about this, then they're definitely going to complain about the other stuff. But yeah, I'm not going to cut this video because this is a first look video. This is me struggling through it and you guys seeing it. Gotcha. So we're looking at some numbers. See, without it being sorted, or how about, you know what, how about we assume that it is sorted? That might be something that it is done. And so if that's the case, okay, let me read this one more time, man. You guys are gonna hate me if it says sorted somewhere. No, it didn't. I just Control F that. Write a function that takes an array of numbers, integers for the test, and a target number is to find two different items in an array. When added together, given the target values, the indices of these items should be then returned into an array like so. For the process of this kata test have multiple answers, any valid solution is accepted. The input will always be valid numbers. Numbers will be an array of lengths 2 or greater. All the items will be numbers. Target will always be the sum of two different numbers. Okay, so they don't mention it being sorted anywhere, but I have this feeling that it is sorted, and so let's just go ahead and try it. We're just going to comment out this code. No need to delete it. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to copy and paste. Oops, that's definitely not copy and pasting. And we're going to, or we just really need this part, the sum, to be commented out. We're going to use that, and we're going to use numbers. And we're also going to use numbers here, numbers. Okay, and we're going to return in an array start and end. This is assuming it's already sorted, but we were given no indication that we can assume that. And so, but let's see. I'm expecting us to get a bunch of stuff wrong. Oh, actually, no, we already know it's not sorted because we saw those failing cases, and those were definitely not sorted. This is another waste of time. Yeah, like we saw something like this, and that was not sorted. And so the question is, how do we take something like this and find it? Definitely need to sort this freaking thing. The index of, man. It's the index of that's screwing it up. I know it. I know it. It's the index of. But why would that screw it up? It's merely going through the index or the array, and if it's finding it, it's giving us the index, which should be O of n. And so that's weird. Wait a second. It's saying that this terminated the process? The process was terminated, it took longer than that to complete this? This is just a while loop, man. That's, holy crap, this is linear time. And they're saying that this sucks? Man, if they're asking for some constant stuff, man. What the heck? Your servers are configured crappily, that's why. Process was terminated, it took longer than 12,000 milliseconds. One errors. One errors? Freaking, it's failing on me. Does it even properly comment that stuff out? Sometimes I wish this was a live feed so that you guys can tell me what the heck I'm doing wrong and point me in the right direction. That's why pair programming is pretty cool, although sometimes it is faster to just do it on your own. So yeah, we are just going to keep on, or we just gotta keep on thinking, what the heck can we do to make this better? It doesn't help that none of their problems here, examples here, was not sorted. We obviously know they are not sorted because this is the kind of log that we're getting from the numbers. Maybe we could just console log ourselves. Let's try that. We're gonna console log numbers. We're gonna get a bunch of shit here. So let's see what happens. Okay, cool. So in this one, it was sorted already. This one was sorted, it was sorted. This one, it was sorted. This one, they were like, what the heck is going on? Oh, because the while loop went forever because it wasn't sorted. Okay, so let me put this back into play and see if that was the problem. And I remember, what was it? It was numbers.index of the new nums of start. That was that. Got that. Copy and paste it. And bring it over, make it look pretty. And these were, that was new nums, and these had to be new nums. New nums also. And so let's attempt that with the console log of numbers and see. Oh wait, no, was this? I don't remember these freaking outputs. Nothing seems consistent. That's why I think that's the biggest problem you get. Nothing seems consistent. How about when we just, this is totally wrong. This is not the answer they're looking for, but I want to see if something like this, they'll even take it. What the heck? Yeah. Let's see, I just want to see some numbers pop up for me. Okay, they're saying it takes too long. Why does it take too long? These are all separate. Sorting is n log n. I'm just going to put a quick statement in here. If start is greater than or equal to end, we're going to break. Okay. While loop broke. All right, let's try that. Let's see, okay, so while loop is breaking, while loop broke. 0, 1, 2, 3, expected to 0 and 2, instead got that. Results are invalid. So how about before it breaks, let's console log out some stuff. This is the new nums. New nums. Let's take a look at that and see what the heck is going on. I recognize you can't do this during an algorithm test, but we definitely want to get somewhere. All right, so new nums is not even working. New nums is not being pushed inside. Because of this. I solved that when I was doing it in terminal. Okay, cool. So instead I got 1, 3, one of them passed. At least I'm not getting the whole weird timeout thing. If that's the case, let's try that. Index of, please don't tell me this will work. Okay, or actually, just tell me it'll work. All right, we're definitely getting some stuff wrong. Instead, got 0, 0. What the freak? We failed 1. What? What did we fail? What was this? Okay, so we passed everything except for 1, and it was probably this. Instead, got, yeah, they wanted the 2, 2, 3. So they wanted the 0 and the 1, but instead they got the 4. No, instead they got 0 and 0. At least they got a number. It didn't just break and didn't just go in here. That definitely didn't go in here because we never saw any console logs. So we can almost guarantee that we don't need this anymore, really. I'm gonna comment that out for now. And what happened was, I see. Well, no, it started at the 2 and the 3, and so the end should have subtracted, and at that point, new nums plus new nums of end, which should have been 0 and 1, and now if sums equals its target, oh, okay. It's the way the index of works. If we're looking at r, we're going to have to exit this node, r equals 0 or 1, 2, 2, 3, r dot index of 2 will give us the first one always. And so what we want to do is we want to put in a second argument, I think starting after that or after, yes, start, or okay, the second argument is you get to start at this index. So if you get to start at the third index, you're going to get -1. So this one, you get to start at the start, or we're going to have to do this again. How about this? Let start idx equals this, just because I don't want to do the whole index of operation twice. And let end idx equal pretty much the same thing. And we're going to make sure it happens after start idx. So in here, we're going to be spitting out start idx and end idx. Let's attempt that. Oh, I didn't have a semicolon there. We get past 1. Probably it wasn't semicolon that did that. Got -1 and 0. Okay. Why is that? So it worked for that. No, why would it mess up like that? We are looking for a 3. Oh, okay. So I guess I need to do this if the start and the end nums are the same, then I have to do this. If it's not, then I have to do the other thing. Pretty much, watch this. Get rid of that. Everything will work except for that one that's failing. And so let's just make a case for that. No, I passed 1 except for that 9, 9. What the freak is going on here? Expected 0, 2, got 0, 0. Okay, I think I'm losing my handle on what the problem really is. Numbers.index of new nums of start. Okay. Now I pass. What the heck? Why is this? Okay, how about right before we do that, we return some. No, wait. We console log out. Console.log. Four. 1464. Okay, so the sum worked out. So why is everything else jacking it up? Numbers.index of new nums of start. New nums of, oh, freaking I have start over again. Damn it. Okay, so yes, back to that point is working except for that. So start idx. And so even if we did that, it would not solve that problem. As a matter of fact, it screwed a lot of other stuff up. If we did +1, everything would fail except for that one that was failing otherwise. Or no, just a lot of shit is getting screwed right now. -1. And so we know that this only works or only matters when the new nums of start and the new nums of end is the same number. And so let's see, equals new nums of start plus equal new nums of end. And I'm going to do some ternary here. If that is the case, then do that. Else, we are just going to take this and run with it. All right, so that's pretty long. Ternary right there. We're just going to attempt it. Getting tired. This video is getting very long. There we go. Finally. Okay, maybe now's the time to say like and subscribe. Although, if I had to sit through all that, I wouldn't have liked it. Okay. No, I don't like it because there was not any examples in the instructions. Yep. Somewhat. I'll say somewhat. All right, thanks for tuning in. That was the first look at this level 6 two-sum question.